What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Darren. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. And on this channel, we talk about looking great and smelling amazing. I think both of those things are very, very vitally important. So if you love to hear about content where we talk about smelling great all the time or looking your best, then guess what? I think this is a channel that you're probably going to enjoy. So why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit the bell icon as well. That way you get notified every time I release new content. Now guys, before I get into today's topic, I want to say my wife and I have started another channel. That's right, we've started a channel where we talk about some business things, some business related things. So I pray that you guys will show some support and love to that channel. I'm going to link it down below. It's called the Tyler Lifestyle Network. Guys, please go over and show some love for me and my wife and subscribe to the channel. All right, guys, on today's video, we're going to be talking about Boozy Fragrances. It's starting to get cooler outside, so I thought it would be a good time to talk about some of my fragrances in my collection that I consider to be great boozy scents. So I'm going to give you guys my top 10 boozy fragrances. This is not a designer or just strictly designer or niche list. I've included both so that there'll be something on this list for everybody from various price points. But again, all of these I consider to be great scents that are boozy. And guess what? Cooler temperatures are the perfect time to wear these kind of fragrances. So I think this is the perfect time to release a list like this. So if you guys want to know what those 10 scents are, you know how we get down. Keep it locked right here. All right, guys, we are back. Thank you so much for keeping it tuned in. Let's go ahead and jump into the list. The first fragrance on the list today is a designer scent from the house of Carolina Herrera, and this one is called CH Men Privé. CH Men Privé. I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about this fragrance, and not for the way that it smells, for probably this very funky kind of top that it has on it. People like to do that sometimes with this scent. Yeah. So I don't know, it's just kind of fun. I see a lot of people do that. But this is a nice, I would say, entry-level scent into the whole boozy world of fragrances. This one has a note of whiskey, has some tonka bean in here, some leather. And that's something that I noticed when I really started doing some research for this video and testing out fragrances, is that a lot of these boozy scents tend to have a lot of the very similar supporting notes. So you see tonka bean in this to give it a little bit of sweetness, but you also see leather. Leather seems to be a note that a lot of these fragrances use, again, because it really plays into that whole vibe, I think, of kind of this masculine type of fragrance. Then you usually have booze and leather, which a lot of times, guys, you put those two things together, booze and leather. I don't know, let your imagination go where it needs to, but I don't know, it seems to be a note that supports boozy fragrances oftentimes. But guys, this is a good one. Again, a great entry-level scent into the world of booze. Nice whiskey, leather, and tonka bean fragrance right here from the house of Carolina Herrera. This is called CH Men Privé. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list, we're going to the house of Killian, or by Killian, and this one is called Single Malt. Single Malt. Now, honestly, Killian fragrances are, of course, that house is really known for making great boozy fragrances. So you're going to see several fragrances on this list from this same house. But I didn't want to make it all about the house of Killian, although I probably could have did just a top 10 boozy scents from Killian. I chose 3 fragrances I think are the best of the boozy scents. So this one right here, Single Malt, combines a really nice boozy accord with plum and a nice vanilla dry down. Now, of the other ones on this list, I felt like this one gave me a little bit more of the other ones on this list. I felt that this one gave me a little bit more of the plum and the sweetness of the vanilla versus the booze. So that's why it's at this spot on the list. But nonetheless, Again, a great scent if you love Boozy Fragrances from the house of Killian. This one's called Single Malt. All right, guys, next up on the list, we're going to the house of Bentley, and this one, Bentley For Men Intense. This fragrance has gotten a lot of talk over the course of the last few years because it's considered to be a very great scent, especially at the price point. This is one of those fragrances, honestly, you can get this for around that $30, $35 price point, and I will say, very high quality scent that you're gonna get for that price point. Really hard to beat that. And I think it's really deserve all the praise that it's gotten, because when you talk about boozy scents, man, I think the list that I did a few weeks ago was about inexpensive fragrances that smell very expensive. And this is fragrance made that list for great reason. But when we're talking about the whole boozy thing, this one has rum. It's a very spicy fragrance. It opens up very spicy. It has bay leaf. I think it has black pepper, cinnamon. So very nice, spicy fragrance on the opening. But of course, when you start to get into the fragrance, it really becomes about that nice rum note. Rum gets kind of resinous on the base with resins and some incense, patchouli. Beautiful boozy fragrance, especially for the price. One of the best, absolutely, at that price point from the house of Bentley. This is Bentley For Men Intense. And next up, guys, this one is from the house of Nichane, and this is called Fan Your Flames. Fan Your Flames. I love the combination of this one because it has a beautiful rum note, but it gives a little bit of sweetness on the opening from coconut. So the three main notes in this one to me are rum, coconut, and tobacco. Beautiful combination of notes, man. Again, just walking outside on a nice, brisk fall day. It's cool outside, but not cold. Allowing that cold air to hit you, and you get a nice whip of this. Is life-changing. I'm telling you, from the house of Nichane. This is called Fan Your Flames. All right, guys, the next fragrance up on the list comes from the house of Bulgari. And I just want to say the house of Bulgari to me does great fragrances at a great price. So none of the fragrances from this house are really expensive by any means, but for the most part, all the fragrances from the house that I've put my nose on have been very high quality. So I really want to say that really quick, but this fragrance from the house of Bulgari is called Man in Black. This is Man in Black, and this, guys, is just a beautiful, spicy, boozy fragrance. Spicy and boozy. You get some leather in this as well, some tonka bean, but it has a beautiful rum note in this. And this is another one where you can find this at a very inexpensive price point. This size bottle that I have is what, a 2 ml bottle, but you can find it in, I think, a 3.4 ounce. Still find it for under about that $40 price point. And again, this is an amazing value at that price point for what you get with this very high quality scent. Another one that I think, in my humble opinion, is very underrated. Another one, in my humble opinion, that could be on that list of fragrances that are inexpensive but actually smell expensive. This one would definitely fit that category. Beautiful, again, slightly sweet, spicy fragrance with rum. Love this stuff right here. It's great for dressy occasions from the house of Bulgari. If you never put your nose on this one, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. This is called Man in Black. The next fragrance up on the list, guys, we're getting into some heavy hitters. Comes from the house of Killian again. And this one's called Apple Brandy. Apple Brandy. Apple, a nice aged whiskey, very boozy. When you get into the dry down, it gets really dry and resinous. Really starts to evoke the imagery of whiskey sitting in a barrel and just aging for years and years. And that's what you really get from this when you really start to get into the dry down. Just an absolutely amazing scent. The way that Killian was able to capture that whole idea in a bottle was just absolutely amazing to me. I love this stuff. It's one of the best boozy fragrances, hands down, on the market. And this one, again, is from Killian. This is called Apple Brandy. The next fragrance up on the list, I've talked about this fragrance a little bit more here recently. This is from the house of Nasamato, and this is called Baronda. Baronda. And I think with this one, for me, man, it's extremely boozy, but it kind of has this nice, sweet, as I said before, almost marshmallowy type of vibe in the background. And I think for me, that's what makes this scent so unique. It's really boozy, but at the same time, you get that good contrast of sweetness in this one. And that's what I really like about it. Again, Nasomato, another house that makes some great quality fragrances. They come in a 1 ml size bottle, but you don't have to spray much of it because they really, really perform well. And so again, we're talking about Boozy Fragrances. This one had to make the list from the house of Nasomato. This is called Baronda. All right, guys, and we're down to the last 2 fragrances on this list. And this one, we're going back to the house of Killian, and this is called Straight to Heaven Extreme. Straight to Heaven Extreme. Now, if you were a fan of the original Straight to Heaven, then you're going to be even more of a fan of Straight to Heaven Extreme. They took what was great about Straight to Heaven and made it even better. And short, what they did with this one was they amped up the Boozy Accords and they amped up the vanilla in this one. Some folks complained a little bit about the performance of the original Straight to Heaven. I honestly didn't have much of an issue with the performance, but the performance on this is better. Guys, I'm telling you right now, if you want a boozy scent that's going to be quality and is going to make you and take you, of course, like the bottle says, straight to heaven, then this is the scent that's going to do that for you. Guys, I'm telling you right now, one of the best boozy scents ever created from the house of Killian. This is Straight to Heaven Extreme. Guys, coming in at the #1 spot, a fragrance that needs no introduction from the house of Roja Dove. This is Creation E, or depending on where you're located, this is called Enigma. One of the best boozy scents ever created, hands down. And this one uses cognac. Again, not going to say much about it because you know what this is. I have a full review on it if you want to hear the rundown. Again, just simply put, one of the best boozy scents ever created from the house of Roja Dove. This is Creation E. All right, guys, that's it. That's my time. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. As I gave you 10 of my top favorite boozy fragrances. I always appreciate your attention to these videos because, of course, you could have been doing anything else in the world, but you decided to take a few moments and watch this video, and I sincerely appreciate that. Don't forget, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. Share these videos out to folks that you think could use this information or find me entertaining, because I'm your guy, Darian, the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. Over here, we love talking about looking good and smelling amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.